Ooh, taking away the sound. Oh well. So I'm just stopped by. I've already been a little while in the sunlight, but seeing how it's catchy here, it's nice and warm. Getting so much headaches lately, so I'm just like getting it now. It's obviously it's the radiation from these phones. They're stepping it up. Obviously they're already 6G activated, so obviously, but you know, see, with everything we know about Christianity or any religion, we've got the Most High and those that break the codes, those that show humanity the walk forward. You know, you can't go rogue. If you go rogue on the christening, yeah, meaning if you use the christening for wicked means, you ain't never gonna, you're going straight to the pit. For you dig a big pit and you join those that dig it. But if you're using the christening rightly, you'll get the abundance of fruit. And like Mel Gibson just said, you know, you can tell by their fruits. That's how you can tell the good people them. And of course, if you want to break your slavery chains, you need to look into the christening, look into everything you need to find out about it. But you need to be very careful in how you do, alright? People do it all sorts of different ways, but believe you me, it's getting more difficult to do, especially since they're underneath the skin and look through your eyes and that to see what you're doing. Yeah, these people, they've got to be held to the highest treasons against humanity because of what they do or what they choose to do. You know, if you want to go around being a part of their technology in the sense that, you know, you're deliberately being paid to develop their technologies and to sell their technologies, these are all types of treason. Malfeasance in office and treason and high treason. Let alone those that have misused the power of office that were given them or placed them. You know, these people know what they do. They try to hijack people good fruit or the good workings of good people. And this is the case of a lot of people that are weak, especially people on here. Lots of people hijacking people's stuff, yeah, without doing their own work, without doing their own shadow work. And you know, looking time and time again, our battle is to free ourselves of this evil existence. I shan't be wanting to come back. See, people believe that Yeshua's going to come back for them. No, Yeshua did the blessing, he did the work, that was the christening. You know, the wicked did as much damage to that individual as possible for bringing the truth to light, bringing the truth out of the shadows. See, we all got obligation to free ourselves and the children them. You need to do this. You need to learn how you need to be doing this. That's it, you know. It is really it. And to break yourselves free, you ain't, you know, like I say, Jesus ain't coming again. What, you want him to come to this realm of hatred and artisticism, the wickedness of people and their beseechments upon other people, the conquering, the divide by people, and there's a good few many to name for that. But I'm not here to name peoples, yeah. They know who they are, they know what they do upon human and conquer and divide, yeah. There's no excuse for these people, there never were, yeah. People get wrapped up in it, becoming mistake for them for doing likewise. But then people need to wake up and set themselves free from them people. You know, the more of you that go along to these marches and don't know what you're doing, who you're putting your allegiance to. Same as petitions. Don't be doing it. You know, like when they were trying to do the Magna Carta, getting us all to sign it. I put myself down on there and found that I couldn't remove it. That means they're a fraud. They are. You know, I didn't know enough about the Constitution then, but I do now. Not enough, but I know enough to more than what I did have. So when people are saying they're doing things behind the scenes, well, they see by their fruit. And it'll be nice, you know, Mel Gibson saying like, Hell's Gates won't prevail. Well, I really hope not, but I'm not convinced, because always under attack. It's just people allow themselves to be controlled, to be horrible to other people, more conquer and divide. People that are vaccinated want to think that they can be wicked to the unvaccinated, justify with themselves. This is wickedness as well. You know, I'm tired of this journey, really tired of it. Had enough of it. Had enough of the display of wickedness, the ignorance behind even my own children and other people. The ignorance is really bad, really bad. It's not good, it's not nice. You know, I don't know what I've done right, but I've done some things right. At the moment, I'm left alone. And it seemed that, you know, like I've got protection of some kind. I don't know. It's not me to judge. You know, when you find out that your world is noughts and ones, and your animals and birds and bees and everything noughts and ones, and you know, what are we? What are we, eh? You know, the thing I really do know about is all they seem to want to do is terrorise this vessel of ours. Yeah, they want to even get under the skin of it. You know, they're entrapped to that right now. They won't let the people have their bodies back. Yeah, their vessels back. You got to research to understand what I'm talking about, because people don't do enough of this. And it's okay for people to tell people, but then people, you know, in one ear out the other, don't really let it compute in there, and then they're wondering why they're in slavery. You know, I'm still in slavery because the rest of you are. You know, it's just beyond me. You know, it's a good job we've got a creator, the Omega, the superior being of all of us, living and breathing, alive. You know, and the giving of the chrysaling. Now, what we don't realise is our children, when they're born with the chrysaling, you know. And the only reason they come away from it is because of the parents, because of education, schooling, yeah. And we've not been learning to protect the chrysaling, and not been learning to protect the children with the chrysaling. So we've only got ourselves to blame in so much, and they managed to do so much, but we've got ourselves to blame. Now, it's not those that are recently born, the children them. It's not, you know, I would say since 70. I know it's the year I was born, but I'll take 70 because that was when gold was taken off the block, right? When our sovereignty with gold standing was taken. So I go from there. Every man, woman and child born from 70s on, it could be further back than that. We could have it further back, but you're not held accountable unless you're really being evil. Now you can't just change that. You've had 6 years to do that. I'm holding everybody to count for 6 years. The reason I'm doing it is because I've had enough. I was one of the least of people. One of the least, one of the dumbest, one of the uneducated, and one of the most tortured through life. Right? Yeah, there's people go through worse. There's people that have had their life taken, put through severe torture and punishment of not of theirs to be given to them. Those that did this put in place all that there is that's enslavement to us. I guess their way of it is to make sure that they can keep on taking the children. For they're trying to find other ways that we, because of our stupidness, yeah, because we are stupid to let everything like this get to the way that it is, yeah. You know, like the clothing, I've always been cotton, but they change everything. You can't get, I don't believe you can really get clean, pure cotton anymore. And if you can, it's probably going to be so expensive. And yet, you know, I can't wear clothes that aren't. When I do, I have trouble. And then they put so much plastic. You know, you catch fire, you're burning with your clothes, you know. You're burning because of your clothes. Because most of your clothes are not good for you anymore. Same with the carbon clothing. Not good for you. But, you know, like I've learned over the years, most of you just let it in one ear and go out the other and don't even abide it to your own lives. Because it's too difficult to do, isn't it? Same as the fasting. Too difficult to do, isn't it? Too difficult to switch your TV off and leave it off, isn't it? Too difficult, isn't it? So I'm stepping up to my marks now. What I'm doing is for me, no one else. Alright, might be joint to someone else because of birthday month coming up, but it's not such a bad thing. But those of you that want to think you're going to get saved from Yeshua, you don't make no effort and don't try. He ain't going to save you. He'll probably just go, who are you? I don't know you. You ain't made yourself known to me. And then, of course, people that believe that they can't be saved because they don't want to try and do the efforts, the works. They want to go satanic, nasty and all that. And don't believe any Freemason that comes online. Yeah, don't believe any of them. Do you know why? Because they're the causes of all of this. There's no getting out of it. They caused this. Yeah? I don't believe they're a forgiven species, because whatever they turn into ain't nothing good. Where most of them are gone, I don't know. You know, we need to take care of our country. Yeah, we need our country in common law. And we do need authority with that common law. We do need people to be like overwatching, people that have authority to be able to exercise the supreme laws on people, right? And I favour it because I know how wicked people will want to be. You know, how people will hold people to ransom if they've done something wrong, and yet this regurgitation of wickedness that people tend to do a lot. They don't learn forgiveness or mercy. And you know, they don't learn the Creator's way, because when the Creator forgiveth an individual, you still want to hold ransom on them. You're wicked. You deserve the hell pit for that, because you don't want to allow these people their forgiveness, and to live life and know that they're forgiven, and to know that they can rebuild their lives. You don't wish this to happen. You don't want it to happen to them. You know, it's going to come a problem for you, because the same will be denied you. It will. See, there's one thing I learned about excommunication. It's about here. Accepting your punishments willfully. Takes a lot to do these things. Takes an awful lot. Now, of course, me being infiltrated by wrongful religions, we know that their methods are unjustly and unright and a form of torture. Now, I know the natural man wants to say that, you know, when you put that right, that's all you need to do. No, you do need to do the work. There's no escape of that. You know, those that do not want to do the work, yeah, you are refusing to do the Creator's will. It's like when a man is weathered, yeah, that's judgment of he, not the man, not other man, not even woman. You know, women are answerable for a heck of a lot, you know, because they born the baby. They know better and more than us, and yet how many are Nephilim lovers? How many that just think that it's okay to sleep with whoever, whenever, or even in relationship, but they think that's right? No, you need to know within that it's right. You need to have the consent that it's right. And yet men don't know this. They don't even look for this and don't even try, let alone woman. So don't come trying to tell me, because I do know quite a lot. Yeah, I'm only interested in hearing the truth. And the truth, as far as I see it, most of our bloodline come from Congo. You get? And if I'm able to live this life and see that place, I would like to go and visit, because I know my ancestry come from there. I know I have Congo in me. Otherwise I wouldn't be the individual I am. And the I amness. I refuse to go rogue despite the problems. And I still keep on picking myself up. My vessel and my soul, I pick up, make sure that I can keep myself on clarity focus, because everybody else is not, as far as I'm concerned. And who they are that do, if they're in a religious background, they're running around with a belief system that is wrong. You got many people going to groups for belief systems that are wrong. It's individual people, individual and progressive. And I wouldn't want to be other than with another I am, because my journey needs to continue. And I would say that she would need to continue. So I can't be that weak point, and nor could she. That's how it is. That's how it need to be. That's how it have to be. Otherwise I'll just be on my own. And I don't like the fact of it, because I've always thought I'll be on my own all my life. So far it's turned out to be true. You know, they weaponize our children against us, especially when they've been torn apart, when they tear the family apart. They get hold of the children through the educational system, through methods of other people that are unruly and contagious, people that believe themselves to be right but not really doing the journey, not really facing up to what the journey is in requirement of. And you know, some of that I get a little bit of feedback on myself there, like, you know, I'm not getting on my walk right now, but it'll come. It'll be when I know that I can do safely, in the sense that, you know, my dwelling, my home, not dwelling, my home is safe, and that I don't have to have distrust. So, you know, I don't know how long we have. Yeah, I really don't. Yeah, I still got to be weathered by the Almighty. Yeah. And I'm alright with this. You know, the girl that do the walk, she walked for what? Hundreds of days on suicide prevention. Well, I don't know what she means exactly by that, unless it's just raising the money to help toward that. But that's a big thing in its own, you know. She'd have to set it up and be the CEO, I would say. But, you know, I big up my heart to that one, because she'd do something with nobody else, and she'd do it on her own. Came through bare thing, you know. And I like the fact that her father turned up. Yeah, they got the same head. But, you know, I try and be there for my own daughter as much as I can, despite what she's doing. Trying to be there for my son, but that's a terrorist thing going on there. That's not nice. I not like it. That's a strain, big strain on me. You know, for a youngster to follow suit, to follow what I do, it's gonna be really difficult. You got to really wanna be able to do them things. I'm not trying to make him follow me, but I just think upon it and I think, gosh, it's really difficult for one to follow me on how I am, because I am erratic. You know, I just can't give in. You know, the more pressure they want to apply to me, I want to fight them but can't see them. Do you know what I mean? Because they're cowards, them. The wicked in spirit are cowards. They can only attack. You know, they're gonna get pretty much banished. Every single one of them got to be banished, and it's going to be down to the few that are able to do this. Those of you who want to jump up and give it all that, you're just wrong uns, bruv. Yeah. Same as those that are trying to terrorize humanity with the different setups. Yeah, this is the same again. Yeah, same again. You know, all these evil workings and people that, you know, when I look at like people with money, people with homes, like, it just amazes me, like, where does all the money come from? How can they establish it and continue it? I don't know. Like, wages always poor. Why? How can these people always have what they have? I don't know. You know, they broke up my family. They smashed it to pieces from the very beginning. And some of them are my own family that cause a lot of this. I want them held accountable for it. And I'm going to make sure that I can, somehow. Even if it's just through spirit, then. Yeah, living rightly. Yeah, because they know what they do. They know what they did. They know the rape they did. They know this, and they're accountable for it. They really are. I don't think they will be forgiven in the life before this one or the next. I think what's happened is there may not be a real next for these people, because they know and believe that they regurgitate, do their evil things, not bothered if they get took out, just because they're going to come back round again. You know, this is how evil and how they've infiltrated humanity, is because of this. You know, do the evil works, not bothered if they do get took out, because they're coming back again on the conveyor belt. But that might not be happening this time round, and if they know it, they've got more fear engulfed, and they're absorbing more fear than it can be of I am or any human. See, you got to be on point, really. I should be a bit more on point. That you got humans that don't fear because they don't care, and they don't fear because they're hardened. Doesn't mean they're open-hearted and got a heart, just hardened. Yeah, they don't fear. There's always something in there that they do fear, but they don't show it, and they're hardened, so you can't see it. Well, that ain't really it. Yeah, when you don't really have fear, I mean, I still have some fear. I know I have some fear, and it's to do with the water. Yeah, I've been baptized. Doesn't make sense. I think there's some weird, real evil influence in that water, in that sea, hiding from human eye and technology. And that's why we feel the fear. Of course, as well, you've still got the fear of the Creator, for if He make a wave, He make a wave. Yeah? We've seen them 200 foot. They're engulfing massive ships, you know. Fishermen don't want to go out in that. What, for some fish? Are you mad? See, I wouldn't want to tempt my Creator to have bad influence upon me. So I wouldn't want to go out in that sort of sea, you know what I mean? And me think, oh mate, you know. But also we're dealing with the evil intent and the conspiracy that they have been on our technologies. I mean, you can just look at Tesla's technology, yeah? How they infiltrated all of that. Changed the hertz, changed frequency, reverse engineered the design in certain ways so that it's always plug-in that you need, yeah? And the information you don't get right. So there's a whole lot, really. We're obligated as human beings to be the light that we are, to do the shadow work, and to set an example, and to help people, right? Now, if wicked people coming to me, I haven't learned to deal with it good enough. But, you know, you want to be wicked, you show your fruit. If you show your fruit to be wicked, then I ain't going to give you mercy on that. If I got some bad judgments going on because of your wickedness, that ain't my fault. I might try and be repentful, thinking it might be my fault, but it's not my fault. Yeah, it's by the fruits you show and by the fruits you design. Now, being that we got word now and we've been taught to spell, we all need to undo this and free yourselves of it. But I don't see a lot of people going to be doing this, which makes it even more difficult for those that don't know how. That would be me included. You know, people have had opportunity to help this vessel, this human, John. But all they did was just abuse and took what they thought that they would take. They really believed that they could just carry on doing what they believed themselves to do upon this John, and terrorize the child John from all the terror and terrorism that the young boy John had gone through. You're going to be held to account at some point, unless you make your peace with the Creator then. And that's going to take some doing, because I'm escalating and I ain't backing off. Doesn't matter how much pain I get from the wicked fingers pointing or digging, not backing off. They've been backing off, they've been trying to hold me to ransom through food and that. So now I'm gonna just G up on that. So you shouldn't have messed with me. And all you wicked that keep on trying to mess with me, I'm coming for you. One way or another, I'm coming for you. In this body or out of body, I'm coming for you. And I'm gonna make sure you go to that pit that's designed for you. Yeah? Because it's asking for you. And of course, it's only the light that can walk in darkness, you know. Only the light can walk and be present in the darkness. We have freedom to do what we need to do when we need to do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be led by the Creator to do His will, one way or another. You've had 6 years, people. 6 years. It's a magic 6, isn't it? We're stepping up. This year, people are stepping up. I'm making sure I'm stepping up. But I always put the heavens first, or the Creator first. It's always Creator first. I come second. The body comes third. And then it's family, children. But if they're not connecting or not doing, where's it going? So you have to be a little bit of aware of them things. You know, they have their crystalline anyway, but they don't have control of it. Nor do they that want to control when you're asleep. They're wicked. I'm coming for them too. I'm going to smash them all over the place. Spiritually smash them apart. Because that's all they seem to do to everybody and everything. So you could say their reward is coming upon them. Because one thing I've learned, when you keep on kicking something or you keep on aggravating something, backlash. You know, too many humans are gullible. Too many of you are gullible. I know I got J in me. But more importantly, I've been obviously chosen more so than just that. But that's the Creator's judgment, not mine, not yours. I'm going to leave it there. Because I feel ego wants to try and take hold now. And I don't like ego. Ego is a bad thing. So I'll leave it there. Now I would give you the love of Yeshua, but you have that once a month. Now you could say I make sure that you're still getting that once a month, but how you live your life eats it away. Every time you're putting poisons in, you're eating your crystalline. And there are those that want it, not me. Yeah, those that want to take it. And they take it from you at night time and during the day when you're eating the wrong things and drinking the wrong things. There is no way out. It's straightforward, like through the needle of an eye, through the eye of a needle. But it is. That's why many won't make it. And most have already been taken under that thing there. I've lost 2 to that out of family. One was not really knowing. The other one thought that she would save herself by doing. She thinks she's going to live for eternity. Well, I can't see how Yeshua can give that, because you've done the opposite. You've allowed them to terrorize your body with that by deliberately going and doing that after I begged her to not do so, and she still went and done it. And all she does is just sitting at the front of a TV being programmed. And you know that that's not acceptable. Like, see a young girl and then an old guy full up. I like she's reasonably good looking, but she's, you know, and it. Alright, I could be wrong. Alright, it looked like I'm wrong there. You know, sometimes you just gotta be observant sometimes. Be cautious of people. But they've made it this way, you know. Which is a shame. Because now I have to repent because I'm thinking the wrong thing there. So anyway, yeah, it's true what they say. If you do a wrong, you don't always want to face the individual, but you know, how can you face an individual when your thought was wrong, but your thinking isn't? Shows you. And then of course you got to be observant about the digital twin. See, they took the digital twin all the way back from the biological twin. They took the biological twin, put the biological twin as dead, being the birth parts of the body, and we're all, how am I going to get out? Right, I'm going to leave it there.